you're only at the top, where do we go? And I didn't have to give up and lose my soul. Maybe it's time to live up and lose control. We can never stop, we can never stop. No.
Hey yo, back in the day when I represented Tech Brooklyn, I played my tape right until my tape bled.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here live with Mike Colossus Law. And Colossus, if for those of you that really don't know, is a Marvel's character. But I'm gonna let him explain.
Well, it's actually the Colossal Mike Law, and the idea has always been, and it's really truly like in my mind, and people think like it's a character. No, I really always believed that I was like this guy, a 6'7", 625-pound person, in just in a smaller frame. You know what I mean? And it's just always been my mentality. I always wanted to like fight the bigger guys. I've always wanted to, I was always told I was too small to do anything. Whether it was playing football, wrestling, you name it. And I would say I had a Napoleon complex for my entire life. I always like went after the bigger guys, and even in pro wrestling, it's the same thing. Like I just like competing against the biggest guys because I just don't like to be shorthanded when it comes to, no pun intended, when it comes to just getting the opportunities that a lot of these people get nowadays.
I was about to say, and you talk about your short stature, your height.
Yeah.
Say you're short, but what do you do in the ring that kind of compensate for, say, if a bigger guy came after you? Like,
I'm just aggressive.
Flying, or is it hitting?
I mean, I'm aggressive, man. Like I don't necessarily feel that I have to hold back on anybody. You know what I mean? So to me, like the bigger you are, the harder I'm gonna hit you. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing this long enough, man. Where I've been through so many of the phases where when I started back in like training in '98, we got somewhere in 2016.
I started wrestling.
I think most people are watching this for like diapers, if I'm not mistaken. But like to me, when I first started, man, I was in an era where it was just predominantly a lot of big guys, and small guys were just coming in, and they would kick my ass. Oh my God, it was unmerciful. Like they would just like throw me around, anything and everything that could be done to a human body, whether it was submissions or just being like beaten down. I think it taught me to be tough because I never backed down. To me, it was like I said to myself, it was more important that like my pride was more important than anything else. Like I said to myself I would never give in and that I would come back for more no matter what. And we're here in 2016 and I'm still doing the thing and probably doing it better than ever.
Where has that pride taken you in terms of promotions, titles, if you want to talk about titles, and achievements that you may personally have yourself?
And people talk about win-losses, man, it's not about that to me. People will never get that. Like, a lot of these guys that come in and like, I won this and I'm a champion here and, I wrestle for this company. That's great, man. Like, we all want to succeed at this. But, like, to me, it's never been about the wins or losses. It's always been about being recognized and remembered. And at the end of the day, like, that's the impact I need to leave. It's not the wins, it's not the losses. It's about leaving an impact and making sure people remember who I am and like why they came to see me. You know what I mean? And so like, it's always been stacked. The cards have always been stacked against me, man. I'm not like somebody that people like, oh man, they come off right off the bat like you love this guy. I have to work hard for everything that I've ever done, and I've always had to work hard for everything I've ever taken. Nothing's been given to me, man. Like. Nothing.
I'm about to say, in terms of not being given everything, you're given a shot right now at Wrestling Laboratory. It's a debut promotion for, under Tier 1's umbrella. How do you feel about competing here tonight?
I mean, to me, I feel like I'm helping launch the brand because the fact is, like, I've wrestled for Tier 1. I did the pay-per-view. I'm not going to BS you people. I felt like I had one of the better performances that night.
Oh, I've seen that. In the ring, you were throwing streamers out there.
Yeah, I mean, and that was just like everything else, man, was on point. And again, it's like win or loss, whatever, but it's all about being remembered. And I think at the end of the day, people remember like, oh, that's Colossal, the Colossal Mike Law out there. And to me, I'm just helping launch this brand today. And I'll be back at Tier 1. As far as every place I've been to, I feel like anywhere that I've been given the proper opportunity to, I've always excelled and gone above, what they require from me.
Well, look at the camera and just give a little thanks to Tier 1 or, whatever you got to say.
Yeah, man, just want to thank Tier 1 and Wrestlers Lab, again, for the opportunity, man. Like, I unlike a lot of you guys nowadays, I don't take this stuff for granted. I've been doing this for such a long time. I don't go out there and I don't act like I'm a big star or anything like that, especially to the locker room. But like to me, I'll never take for granted every time I get in the ring that it's a privilege and an honor to be in front of the fans, as opposed to like some of the guys who feel like it's, you know, it's their right. It's not a right, man. Like nobody is asking you to do this. We do this because we want to. We do this because, you know, we're performers, we're wrestlers, we're athletes, we're stuntmen. You know, we're a mix of everything, and you know, just want to thank everybody, support the independent wrestling. Thanks to that guy for making all that noise, jumping in the ring. Sure. But other than that, like I said, man, I want to thank you, Deshaun. I want to thank, you know, Sparx Entertainment. You guys are always, you know, on top of my list of like people to support these guys, support the independents, man. Like that's how you see your next Dean Ambrose, your next like Seth Rollins, all these guys. They start here. And you know, you support our industry, you support us. We're like starving artists too, man. Like I can't like, you know, put that any clearer, like how important that is, that you guys support what we do. Buy shirts, you know, buy merch, buy a ticket. You know, like it's important to keep our business going. You know.
You heard the man. Continue to support the indies. This is Mike Colossal Law. That's Colossal. Don't get it confused with the Marvel character.
I don't want to see some man. I don't get sued, man.
No.
It's the Colossal.
The Colossal.
Stanley, we're fine with that. All right,
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Trapped in watching the game from undercovers, expose our insecurities to tell us what we're missing. Refuse to live my life around where everybody isn't. Dreams of work, grain, plush, leather in the ride. Grabbing clutch, shipping bad chick on the side. Do it for the money, cause the money buys a dream. But when you finally get it, it ain't always what it seems. I'm bypass you haters, I'm headed to the top. Unstoppable, full throttle, give it everything I got. Impossible is nothing, Ethan Hunt, I'm on a mission. Ambition for the vision, Trump, I'm mad at the